Alright, hi everyone, I'm Tracy and welcome to today's video. So I put together a most used Chikuhodo brushes in my collection, and I wanted to talk about Chikuhodo because it's not only one of my favorite brands, but they have so many different brush lines, so many different brushes that I know it could be sometimes hard to navigate their selection. So I thought this would maybe help you guys out if you're looking to purchase from Chikuhodo. So I also want to put this out there because I don't talk about this a lot. I buy almost all of my Chikuhodo, maybe 90% from CD Japan, mainly because I could take advantage of the exchange rate and their shipping is very fast. And if I had to choose another retailer, it would be either Fude Beauty or Fude Japan. The reasons that those are second is mainly because of the shipping. The minimum cost to get free shipping is higher. But if I'm putting a big order, then Fude Japan or Fude Beauty are also really good places, especially Fude Beauty. They have, I would say, the best selection of all the different retailers. And then Visage USA, I used them a while ago. I didn't have the greatest experience. The packaging wasn't done very well, and it took a while to get my order, and I haven't seen them do any of their sales. So I just wanted to let you guys know if you're wondering, which way to go if you're wanting to order Chikuhodo. I've ordered through Beautylish, but if you're paying in USD, you're going to be paying a higher price point. But one thing is good is the shipping, the minimum shipping cost is lower, and you get really good customer service. But you're going to end up paying paying more out of pocket, especially right now. So, all right, let's get started. So these 5 brushes are ones that have kind of stood the test of time. Some of these are some of my very first brushes that I ever bought, and I'm still using them. But these, especially, I would say the last 3, are ones that I've been using consistently for some time. Okay, and I'm going to rank them. So number 5 will be the first one, and then the most used, the one that I've probably used the most by far, is going to be the last one I mentioned. Okay, so number 5, I'm gonna put the RS6 in that spot, and mainly because this one is a little bit newer, and I didn't get this for eyeshadow, but that is what I use it for, and it's an amazing brush to do metallics and glitter, any kind of like shimmery formula that's kind of hard to pick up and that you want to really pack on the eye, and you want it to stay there, and you want to get the most impact. This brush is probably one of the best. Also the I also really still like the Chikuhodo horse eye packing brushes, but this one is different in that it's a pretty substantial brush. It's made of weasel and pine squirrel, so you're getting a pretty firm brush, but you're also getting a soft brush because of the squirrel hair. And this is not generally what I think of a packing brush, but somehow it works. It looks so beautiful, especially like these Natasha Denona glimmer or metallics, and I'll show it to you. I have my makeup done, but I'm going to add a little bit more so you can see the results, see how the impact is. Also, I almost never get any fallout when using this brush, which is a huge plus for me because I do my base makeup before my eye makeup. So this is, I'm going to pick up the shimmer shade in the mini Biba palette from Natasha Denona. I'm going to just put it on this side. I already put a little bit of this earlier, but I've been, running around. So I just kind of pat, and the shape is good for my size eye, it's a really good size. And you can kind of get in this area and just really pack it on there. It's very comfortable, and you don't need to blend it. It already you know, looks blended. You can also, because it's got that point, you can even use it on the lower lash line, which I like to do, like here. A little shimmer there. I thought I heard an earthquake. I hope that wasn't. Okay. So if you want to get the lower lash line lined, it's a really good brush to travel with because you can blend, you can do the crease area, blend, line, and pack shadow. But I think this does packing shadow the best. I highly recommend this. I know this one is not spoken about. I don't hear a lot of people talking about it, but it's their regular series. So you can get this in the shorter red handle or the longer black handle. I prefer the red because it's got that beautiful lacquer and it's a little bit easier if you want to travel with this one. And I love this one. I highly recommend it if you like a strong, you know, glitter or shimmer look on the eye. And the only reason it's not higher is because it's newer, so it's gotten less use, but not because of the performance or anything. So that's the RS6. And then the next one is, I feel like this one is really underrated as well. And it's number 4 because it is a little bit newer. I think I might have gotten it a year ago, but it's pretty consistently on my vanity. I don't think I put it away for some time, and that is the Chikuhodo T2 from the Takumi series. So the Takumi series is one of my favorite of the different Chikuhodo brush lines, mainly because the craftsmanship is really, really superior, I believe, to their other brush lines, and most of them are goat hair, and I feel like the goat hairs are little better than some of their other brushes, and the price point is much better than a lot of other brushes with this quality. So, you know, I have a pretty decent amount of the Takumi brushes. All of them are perfectly crafted. The design is very well thought out, and what makes this brush, did I mention the price? Yeah, the price of these are I think much more fair than a lot of their other brushes, because you're getting, you know, the handle is more simple, it's lightweight. These are also good to travel with. They don't take up a lot of space. But the reason I keep going back to this brush line is the performance and the price. So, you know, you're getting a lot for what you pay for. And this one is so I think if you're starting out with bronzer, I only use this for bronzer, and you're not quite at the point where you're like contouring or, you know, doing anything like that. You just want to kind of warm up your complexion a little bit. This is a really good one to start with because it's so big. It gets a big area, but just enough, for me at least. And I did my powder bronzer with this today. And it's also good if you like to put like a cream bronzer or cream contour and then set it with a powder. I like this for that purpose. And then the number 3 spot is going to be, and after this I'm going to mention a few others that I'm really enjoying, but because they're so new, I'm not going to put them on the list. But the third spot is going to be a type of brush that I've been using for some time now, and I'm missing one. I can't find it. I've been looking all morning for it. I've been looking for the RS9, but it's very similar to the RS8. So I'm going to put the RS8, 9, and the Artist 12, RS8, RS9, and the Artist 12-3. I know, confusing. I'll list them all below so that, you know, you guys can get a better understanding of all the names. So the Artist 12-3 and the regular RS8 are very, very similar. I think the Artist 12-3, which is this one, is maybe a millimeter longer, and the regular series RS8, the red one right here, is a tad bit thicker, but just, I mean, just a smidge. You don't need both. If you have one, you know, that's all you need. These are large weasel hair eye brushes. For me, they're just too large for my eyes. I use these solely for concealer and for specific foundation placement or application. Now, I know you're not supposed to put foundation more in one area than the other, but just for my skin, I kind of have to, because the area that I really need coverage, it's a pretty big area. It's like this whole area here and this whole area here. I like to cover up a lot of those spots I have, and if I were to spot conceal, I would be doing my makeup all day, so I just simply am not going to do that. So I put my foundation on and then I'll dab it with something like this, as opposed to using my finger. You can use your finger to, you know, kind of get a little bit more on there, but these are good for concealer, especially on the eyes, the upper eyelid, or for cleaning up the lower eye area. If you have like shadow, you want to kind of like sharpen this area up. Also, if there's areas you want to kind of heavily conceal in a bigger area, I'll show you what I'm talking about. So I'm going to use the Artist 12-3 to kind of, so I'll cover this area a little bit better with concealer and powder. I already have this on, but I'll put a little bit more just to show you guys what I'm talking about. So, and I already was out today, so like you see how my sunglass thing, little line is right here. Let's say I want to cover that up. Also, if you want to kind of brighten this area with concealer, these brushes are amazing at that. They're firm, but they're still soft. And I just feel, I definitely feel like an artist doing my makeup with these brushes. So see how that, I covered it up in a very smooth way. You don't need to like blend like that. I try not to do that. And like concealing areas like this, these brushes are amazing for that, and I highly recommend having one. The RS9 that I'm not able to find is a narrower version of this, so it's more specific. So if you want something smaller, the RS9 is equally as good. I just can't find it, and I hope I didn't lose it. I think I might have traveled with it and I put it somewhere and I don't know where that is. I need to get a brush book to travel with. It's weird. It's like, you know, I'll spend all this money on brushes, but I'm too cheap to buy a book to put them in. So I use like a box. Anyhow, it's just kind of how I am. But yeah, I'm going to definitely get a brush book to travel with. If you guys have a recommendation for a good one, please let me know. So yeah, these type of brushes are, I always have at least one, sometimes both on my vanity, because you gotta wash these a lot, and you know, so yeah, I'm always using these. Every time I do my makeup, I use usually one of these or the RS9. Okay, and then this one is not going to be a surprise because I've had this brush for a while. I believe this was my first squirrel hair face brush, so I remember getting this and being so excited. At that time I don't think I've ever spent that much money on a single brush. I mean, since then that has changed, but that is the Z8. Now the Chikuhodo Z series, they have a very big variety. I have the big one, the Z1, and I have like the smaller eye brushes, the Z4, but I think this is the best one. It's the perfect medium, and it does blush so beautifully. You can buff because of the hairs. It's gray squirrel. It's not going to disturb your base makeup. It's not going to like muddy things up. And because of the quality of hairs, you can kind of like give your skin that luminosity. And I am going to try it with this blush, the Suku number 126 because this is the first blush I used this brush for, and I think I did that on camera. So I already have blush on, but I'm going to just show you the kind of finish it does. So I'm going to get more of like that pink side. This is one of my most used blushes as well. So yeah, I have no problem, you know, doing this because I know it's not going to muddy things up. And it's going to give your skin that like beautiful sheen without adding like, you know, glitter or shimmer. It's just going to give your face that like smooth buffed out look. So yeah, the Z8. I know other brands make brushes like this, but this is the one I keep coming back to. I've washed it a ton and it's held up beautifully. I do get a lot of questions about the Z4, and the Z4 is a lovely brush, but if you want like a smaller cheek brush from the Z series, I like the Chikuhodo KK002 better. It's just, it's smaller, it's fluffier, and I think this one is a little more unique versus the Z4. The Z4 is just like a little bit smaller than the Z8, but it's still a good brush. The Z4 is, I think, a very useful one, but I do pick up the Chikuhodo over the Z4. But the Z8 is my most used Z series brush, and I've had this for some time, probably 3 or 4 years or something. So the Z8 is in high rotation. All right, so now we're down to my most used Chikuhodo brush of all time. This might be a little bit of a surprise, but it was an easy choice, and that is the Artist 12-2. This is a large eye brush made of weasel and pine squirrel hair. Now, this is not meant to be a concealer brush or a foundation brush, but that's all I've ever used this for, and it is simply amazing at, you know, getting the concealer exactly where you want it. Like if you want to, for example, I put a little bit here. All right, I do pick this one up over like the RS8, even though they're almost the same exact size. Because of the pine squirrel hair, it is more comfortable. It is a little bit softer. It's a little bit more flexible, but mainly it's because this is one of my first Chikuhodo brushes I ever got, and I think I got it at the same time as the Z8. But I've definitely used this more. I wash it every week. If it's clean, I will grab for it for concealer. And it is simply amazing. I don't know why I haven't gotten another one. I just need to get another one because I'm always looking for this. And like right now it's dirty, so I gotta wash it again. Yeah, I just absolutely love this one. I didn't talk about it for a long time because technically you're not supposed to use any kind of squirrel hair brush for liquids or creams, but I've been using this brush solely for concealer, you know, foundation and concealer, and it's held up great. And I cannot recommend this enough. I know a lot of you have gone out and bought this. The price is very fair. It's so well made. I don't know how many times I've washed this and it's not shedding. I hope it stays that way. But I'm talking, you know, 3-4 years of heavy use and washing it regularly, and it's still in great shape. And yeah, I just need to get another one. You can get it in the red lacquered handle or the black long handle. I'll probably get it in the red handle because I can travel with this a little bit easier. But yeah, this is easily the most used Chikuhodo brush that I have in my collection, and it's just amazing. You know, if you're going to use it for eyes, I don't know, because I don't need a brush this big for eyeshadow. I know I've been a little bit slow getting my content out. My whole channel has been demonetized because of a little technicality that they're having with my account, and I've been trying to clear it up for some time. So I don't know when that's going to clear up, hopefully soon, but it's been a little bit of a bummer, and you know, what are you going to do? But I still am going to continue to make a video at least once a week. And I did want to mention a few like honorable mentions. And the reason that these are not on the top 5 is because they're a little bit newer, but they're amazing. I'll just mention 2 of them. One is the T11. Now this is a flat foundation brush, but it's got like a slight taper. It does work well for foundation, but because these hairs are pretty fragile for goat hair and it's a pretty dense brush, I don't like using this for foundation because it's hard to clean, like it's hard to get in the middle there. But this is an amazing brush for cream contour or cream bronzer, and that's what I've been using it for. And it does this area really well. Also, if you look at how low it starts tapering here, I don't know if you can see that, how it starts tapering so low. What that allows the brush to do is to pick up product at this point. You can pick up product here, but you can also pick up product here very well. And when you apply that cream product, it will be applied very evenly. So it'll pick up evenly and apply evenly, as opposed to a brush that is just like straight like this. You would have to use just the top. But this brush is amazing. I kind of tap it in the contour like this, and then I pat it on here. It's really good for this area. It's really good for along the hairline and the jawline. It doesn't pick up too much. It doesn't pick up too little. I really do like this one. I don't know if it's going to be like an all-time favorite, but I do like this one. And I also want to mention the T3. It's another foundation brush. It's a flat top foundation brush, so you would have to use it, you know, like this. It is a nice foundation brush, but because it's so dense and these hairs are so are on the finer side, it's going to be hard to clean the inside. So I use this just for kind of pressing in the foundation, smoothing things out. You know, if I put a little bit more foundation here and I want to like kind of blend it in, or it looks like my foundation's kind of sitting on the skin, I'll use this to kind of press it in. It is a dense brush, so it's really gonna put on some pressure. But I do really like the T3 a lot for that purpose. Yeah, so I guess, yeah, that is now gonna do it. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye.